maybe it's that swamp, that you described your last session. You felt like you were going to be stuck there forever. I know that swamp.
In the first series of The Sinner, the first and last thing we see of Detective Harry Ambrose are his fingernails. Harry hates himself. His life has fallen apart. His marriage is a mess.
I feel so lonely. I feel like something could happen to me and you wouldn't even notice.
He's addicted to a sex worker that degrades and abuses him, creating those marks on his fingernails. He's not taken seriously by his superiors.
Like a spider in your brain, that woman. The worst part is you feed it.
As the series goes on, things get worse for Harry. His wife decides to stop trying.
I don't want to do this anymore.
At one point, when the sex worker is choking him out, he just doesn't tell her to stop.
Harry! Harry! You're supposed to tell me to stop.
And even she leaves him.
What the hell's wrong with you?
Harry's not okay.
I've been trying. This whole time. You think I haven't been trying, but that's all I do.
But one thing's keeping them together. When Cora Tinetti murders a man in broad daylight, but doesn't know why, Harry's fascinated by her. What begins as an interest and turns hostile, eventually turns into a caring relationship. Harry wants to help Cora, despite the forces working against him, and finds the time to do so even when he has his own issues to deal with. He risks his job to further the investigation, and pulls years-old favours.
Oh, I really hate to do this, but I remember back in my patrol days when I pulled over a young assistant district attorney with at least half a drink too many in her.
Are you really gonna play that for this?
And it might sound strange that someone so troubled would be in any position to help someone else, but it's not such an uncommon thing. I'm speaking from experience when I say that people struggling from mental health problems are often perfectly capable of giving solid advice to other people with their same issues, even if they can't implement that advice in their own lives. Because the ideal we have of ourselves is crucial to our mental state, and if, like Harry, yourself is something that you're not comfortable with, or that you hate, taking help can be a challenge, but offering it still comes naturally. So Harry's able to use his excellent detective skills to help Cora, and recognise that Cora's actually a victim of this case too.
When I first interviewed you at the station, the way you were blaming yourself, I realized it felt familiar, because I do that too.
And in seeing himself reflected in Cora, Harry's able to admit to himself that he's a victim too, of some unspecified past trauma.
What somebody did to us when we were young. I know we didn't do anything wrong.
This woman, this case that everybody wants to put behind them, has something approaching a happy resolution thanks to Harry's efforts. He's embraced by Cora, emotionally and physically, and it helps him to see himself in a different light. Cora's rescued from life in prison and gets to eventually return to her family, because of him. And that's why Harry's fingernails are the last thing we see. It's one last glimpse into the darkest part of Harry. And as Cora's happy ending lingers in the front of his mind, it's plain to see that, in saving Cora, Harry saved himself.